So, Guardians of the Galaxy, possibly the most hyped movie of the summer. This is my review for it, and it was, in fact, amazing. Uh, the whole time, I was thinking to myself before the movie, what if this is just a flop Avengers movie? Because they really went out there, like they got a concept that like everybody's heard of Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America. Those are all staples of the Marvel franchise. But Guardians of the Galaxy is completely different, and it worked perfectly because they knew what they were doing going into it. And just talking about some of the actors that are in it, Chris Pratt did a wonderful job. At first, when I saw he was in there, I was like, I can't take him seriously. But was he was actually very ripped. He was big, like he was pretty buff. He only had like one shot, and I think it was like for the ladies, like Thor and Thor 2 had his shirt off, and they were showing things. Um, there was also that the girl who played Gamora, Zoe Saldana. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. I didn't really learn how to pronounce that. She was really interesting. The whole I'll save the spoilers for the end, so that way if you haven't seen the movie, I won't spoil anything. So she was just really cool. Um, the Drax, he was played by, I think I heard, a wrestler. I'm not for sure about that. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was wonderful because I heard going into it he was like some pro wrestler or something like that. So I was expecting like just really dumb like brute force, but it was fun. He was very funny to watch. And there was also Groot, who was played by Vin Diesel. And Vin he's a pretty popular actor, so you expect him to say stuff. Not so much, and it worked perfectly again. He's a lot of people are comparing him to Chewbacca in this, so I see the comparison, but they're not exactly the same. Um, there's also the Rocket Raccoon, who's played by Bradley Cooper, and he does a wonderful job. He's hilarious in this movie. Him and Star Lord are back and forth over and over. Um, I like to talk about the beginning of the movie really quick. It started off kind of slow, and like just boom, like all these characters. We're gonna show you them, and you're gonna be like, okay, I don't really know who any of these people are, but I'm still watching because like in other Avengers movies they've been going like sequentially, so like what's gonna happen, who these characters are, stuff like that. You have insight. But for this, like I was like, I don't know who this is, I don't know who that is, I don't know what's gonna happen. The thing is, like the big thing about this movie, people are comparing it to the next Star Wars slash Star Trek, or one of those movies. It is not any of those movies. I've heard it's a mix of Star Wars and other types of things, but it's completely different and it's hilarious on its own. I'd definitely recommend Guardians of the Galaxy if you have not seen it. I will more than likely be buying it on Blu-ray DVD very soon, as soon as it's released. And if you have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm gonna have to ask you to go so that way I can talk about all the cool stuff in the spoilers. Okay, so starting with the spoilers. First of all, they dropped little hints during the movie, but then at the very end, they just flat out, said, "Oh, this is fact. This is true." Um, Star Lord's dad, Peter Quinn, is an alien. They don't really know what type of alien. They just said they've never seen it in a while. I don't know what that means, but it's gonna be important. And I don't know, like for some reason I was just like, what if his dad is Thanos? But that wouldn't happen because that would be really weird, but really cool. I'd like to talk about the villain really quick. The thing with the villain, he was a good villain. Like in comparison to Thor 2 when they just had like the I don't know, the elf dude that was just like I'm evil and that was his whole thing. This guy was pretty good. But the thing is he was powerful, but they compared him to Thanos. They made that mistake. And Thanos, like, we haven't seen him in any movies, and he made an appearance. It's just like I want to see Thanos fight. He didn't fight. We're gonna have to wait even more, and that really pumped me up. Another thing in this movie, uh, I really liked the backstories of all the characters, like the raccoon. Everybody kept making fun of him. He had some great lines, by the way. Like when he was like, "Oh, everybody keeps calling me a rodent and stuff," and like tears were running down his eyes. It was pretty serious. And at that point, when he was talking to Drax, and he was like, "Look, everybody loses people. You just got to move on, so that way we don't lose even more people," or something like. It was along those lines. I was like, "Dang, this is deep." But the movie is hilarious. Chris Pratt is really funny. Bradley Cooper again is hilarious. They keep going back and forth. There's smaller characters, and they're really funny in this movie too. The thing is, like, when you're expecting a big, like when they first get into the main villain's ship, uh, uh, Ronan's ship, the lady like pops up and she's like, "Ah!" So you expected a fight, and the Drax guy just like blasts her with the grenade, and it's crazy. I don't know, like it's just what you don't expect in a movie. Like at the very end of the fight scene, when like they're about to die, he's about to touch the sphere to the ground, and he's about to like wipe the whole planet out. Chris Pratt just starts dancing, moving along, stuff like that. He's just really good. Um, Really quick, the end credits scene. Um, I really like the dancing, the little grug, but I did not like the Howard the Duck, I guess, because I mean it showed that the collector was alive, but I was just like whatever. Oh, really quick, one thing I forgot: when the blue guy that he worked with, Yondu, I think I want to say Yondu, but when he like opened it and he like saw the the troll, and he was just like, I was like, oh, like that was just a beautiful touch. I mean, another thing that I failed to mention at the very beginning, the music is wonderful. Like at the very end, they play "Ain't No River High, Ain't No Valley Low." That's my jam. Like you don't understand. And then they play "Give Me One More Chance" by the Jackson Five. It was a spectacular movie, but like in its own way. It wasn't necessarily the superhero blockbuster like all the other Avengers movies. I wouldn't necessarily say it was the funniest Avengers movie. It's close. It's very close. I'd have to think about that. But yeah, I definitely recommend it to everyone, and people should watch this movie and love it. Thank you. Last Lazard out.